Greetings, Soul Beings. It's Shelly Bean of Empowered Oracle. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy weekend. So I'm here doing another message about self-care. I do these from time to time, and I was getting that nudge again that it's time for the collective of each sign, of course, to hear the self-care messages from Divine Spirit, what needs to be worked on at this time, what things need to be addressed, certain areas in our shadow selves that need to still be healed, and just being honest with ourselves about where we are right now in our lives and what areas need focused on, need to be addressed, some areas that still need to be healed. So I'll be doing this message for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements of Gemini. Hope you guys are doing well, Gemini. So I'll be, of course, I've already done the blessings and the clearing of the cards and myself, so we are good to go. So Gemini, if you guys are here and you have enjoyed my messages so far, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Please share and subscribe if you are moved to do so. But definitely liking the videos helps my channel continue to grow, which is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start with this trigger deck. I can't, let me see, what is the, this is like, it doesn't, when I bought it on Etsy, and I have to go back and remember the title or the merchant who I purchased this from, but it's a trigger deck. I know that, and it doesn't have the title on here, but it talks about some of the triggers and areas that we still need to work on, and so some of the messages are very blunt and straight to the point, but those of us on a healing journey and that really want to heal wouldn't want to have it any other way, right? Okay, because we want to be honest with ourselves, even if it's uncomfortable. We're all connected, and most of us, if not all of us, have been through a lot of the same things, a lot of the same challenges, okay? So, Divine Spirit, what trigger messages do you have for Gemini Collective at this time? Please and thank you. What trigger messages do you have that you want Gemini to be aware of, to acknowledge, to address? Holy Spirit, please and thank you, okay? I can be quick-tempered and say hurtful things without understanding why. Okay, so also the disclaimer, let me say that these messages won't be, of course, for every Gemini, but for some of you guys. Anything else from this deck? Holy Spirit, please and thank you. What else does Gemini need to hear and know and work on? Thank you. When I'm not confident with who I am, I will act in superficial ways. So some insecurities, which we all have or have had at some point, okay? When I'm not confident with who I am, I act in superficial ways. So what I'm hearing for some of you guys, maybe there's been situations where some of you guys may have felt like, depending on the type of social environment you guys are in, maybe you guys have felt like you needed to feel just as good as some of the others around you, like on a superficial level. What other messages do you have for Gemini? Holy Spirit, please and thank you. What else does Gemini need to hear at this time for their soul's growth and healing? Okay. Yeah, take those two, all right? I'm being told to take these two that came out. One says codependency. This is a relationship addiction. You are relying too heavily on the other person for your sense of self-worth. Give yourself more self-love. When I tell you, when I tell you, well, let me put it like this. I can't tell you how many of us have been through this. How many of us have relied on a relationship or a person, even unconsciously. We've dealt with these relationships or people on an unconscious level where we have relied on that person or the external or the outside to make us happy. This is something that a lot of us as human beings do. Okay. Shadow Work Oracle deck. Thank you, Spirit. So this is actually the title of this deck. So I have the title of this deck in the deck here. I thought I had lost it. So this is one of the titles. Thank you, Spirit. That's why they wanted me to take this card, okay? Shadow Work Oracle deck. So this is called the Shadow Work Oracle deck. I'm not sure if the title of this deck is somewhere here in this deck. Yeah, I'm not sure, but maybe it is. But I'll try to go through it after I get done with this reading. But thank you, Spirit. Okay. Anything else from this deck for Gemini Collective? Please and thank you. Anything else from this deck for Gemini Collective? Please and thank you. Relying on other people and things to make us happy instead of finding the happiness within ourselves. Doesn't that sound familiar? Anything else from this deck for Gemini Collective? Anything? Okay. Resisting change. Ask yourself why you are not wanting to change. Look at the positive side of the changes. So for some of you guys might be in this energy of resisting change, not wanting to step out of your comfort zone in a way. And it's interesting because I just was thinking about that earlier, about how, how I saw change, how I used to see change. I've come a long way. I'm still working. I'm always work in progress, of course, but I'm definitely not where I used to be when it came to change and being in my comfort zone. But when I tell you, I was also resisting change in a lot of areas of my life because it was familiar. It was familiar and it was safe. Those were the main reasons. And that's usually the main reasons for lots of people. It's familiar. Even if it's toxic, sometimes we get comfortable with what's toxic. It's like this, it's a comfort level that keeps us stagnant. Because in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, in my mind, I felt like, although I'm uncomfortable in this situation, at least it's familiar. It's almost like trying to deal with the devil opposed to stepping outside your comfort zone and dealing with the devil you don't know. So, even if it was toxic or uncomfortable, it was familiar, and at least my ego tricked me into thinking and believing that, well, at least it's something that you're familiar with and you know what to expect and you know how to handle the situation. You know how to deal with this particular situation accordingly because it's familiar. But no, don't ever step out that door. Don't ever step out the door because you don't know what's behind that door. So it's safer to stay here. Never again. I mean, to some degree, fear, which is false evidence appearing real, fear is an illusion. But even us feeling fear at times is a natural human emotion to have. the key thing with any low vibrational energy or emotional feeling is to not stay. Acknowledge it, but don't stay in that energy. Staying in that energy will not serve you any good at all. Okay? So, let's get a self-care oracle message from here, from this deck. Holy Spirit, what self-care message do you have for Gemini? Oh, here we go. Oh, we got two. We have Dream Journal, and we have Write a Gratitude List. So I just did Virgo's, I just did Virgo's reading, and had mentioned about how helpful writing your feelings down, whether it's through a journal, diary, or just on a piece of paper pad. It doesn't have to be fancy, but just writing down your feelings, asking yourself questions on that paper, and see what answers you come up with. If you're like really ready to be truly honest with yourself, ask yourself certain hard questions and see what answers you come up with if you're being honest with yourself. Because just putting it out on paper, just writing it down, is very, very therapeutic and healing. You'd be surprised. For some of you guys who haven't really done that or who want to do it, I definitely encourage you to do that. So we have Dream Journal for some of you guys that are probably having these really vivid dreams, probably very vivid dreams I'm hearing, which is, for some of you guys, is part of the ascension process, part of the awakening. Some of you guys are getting more in tune with your inner knowing, your inner spirit, your connection to divine source. So this is why some of these dreams are happening. There's some messages in those dreams that are trying to be conveyed to you. So Gemini, definitely start writing down your dreams in a journal, okay? And then write a gratitude list. Be more in the attitude of gratitude. This message is for all of us, including myself. It's very important to write down. Either think about or write down, but definitely you're being encouraged to write down the things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. It can be very small in what you may perceive as being trivial or minute or insignificant. But there's always something to be grateful for. Always. I don't care what it is. There's always something to be grateful for. So just think about the things that you're grateful for. When we put ourselves more in the energy of being grateful and having gratitude, that's how we open ourselves up to receive more positive and loving experiences. And the universe is telling the universe also that we're ready to receive more blessings, okay? All right, Divine Spirit, what message do you have for Gemini from this stress relief and self-care deck? Please and thank you. Any message for Gemini? Here we go. Focus meditation. Okay. Objective is mindful seeing and paying attention. So the first step would be the 4 steps. So number 1 is selecting an object of focus from your environment, like a lit candle. Number 2, sit and get comfortable and light your candle. Number 3, focus on the candle and the flame with your full attention. Notice the color of the flame and how high the flame is. Try to focus on the wax as it drips. Notice any other impressions you get as you stare intently at the flame and the candle. And last, number 4, fully immerse yourself in the experience for as long as you like. This is a great way to develop focus and clarity. I'll hold it up here for a second if you want to take a picture. All right. Last but not least, as we close out this reading, guys, affirmation for you guys to meditate on, to speak out loud, to write down, to make part of your regular belief system. Say it, feel it, and believe it. What affirmation do you have for Gemini Collective? Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. What affirmation do you want to leave off with for Gemini? There we go. All good things flow into my life. Ashe. All good things flow into my life. And so it is. So Gemini, that's your self-care message that I have for now for you guys. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it resonates. And of course, until the next time, you guys, till the next video, you guys take care, be at peace, and ashe.